Well, it's that time of year again. We show it every year, but it's because it's one of my favorite things to do, and that's planting our sweet corn. We tried to wait long enough this year for the soil to be a little drier. Sometimes we want to plant it too soon, but I think we have. Let's see how it goes.
So for the viewers out there, I wonder when Tim's going to figure out that I've got the 2 Series bucket on the 1025R.
Usually we do all of our tillage in the spring simply because I didn't get around to it in the fall, but this year we had a chance to use that Coons Engineering chisel plow last fall, and it kind of buried the stalks a little bit and they rotted down pretty well. It's making it till really well. I think it is dry enough. There's plenty of moisture in the ground yet for the corn, but there's no mud coming up, which is, yeah, that's good. Thought about some other things to plant this year, but our #1 rule on garden is not to have a lot of work, especially during harvest. So I don't want something like green beans or peas that we have to pick all the time, even though I would enjoy eating the green beans. We used to grow potatoes. My potato digger went on strike. Actually, my potato picker-upper went on strike. I used to use the fork to dig. Christy would pick up, and then she finally said she wasn't going to do it anymore. I've been looking for a cost-effective potato digger for a tractor ever since. And, well, I haven't found one yet. Not near as cheap as Christy anyway. Thankfully, she's busy flying right now and can't really respond. Now, I would like to have a potato digger. For whatever reason, that sounds fun to me. I need to get the Rocky Mountain farmer out there and out west who, I don't know, I think I read that he planted 1,000 acres of potatoes in 6 days. That was his title of his video, but anyway. Maybe he'd come dig my potatoes. Like Bobby's home. He's been over helping Rex. Rex is putting some shelving in one of his storage containers, I think. You know, I think this is going to be in good shape after just the one tilling year. I'm not going to till it quite as fine as I have in the past. I think chiseling it last fall really made a difference.
We didn't see any weeds at all in the garden this spring before we tilled, and we don't understand why. Was this the result of the chisel plowing last fall? If so, we may try that again, because usually the weeds are beginning to take over by this time of year.
I've told you before, but it may have been a long time ago, that I think a subcompact tractor, 1025R size tractor, and a tiller is really about the best you can get. Best size tractor you can get for most gardens. Short turning radius, just handy to deal with. Just a wonderful machine to till with. Does just as good a job, if not a better job, than bigger tillers. Bigger tillers sometimes can be too wide, and they won't handle the contours that are in a lot of gardens. Now I'm tilling with the loader on today, mainly out of laziness, I guess. I can take it off in 30 seconds, but in a big garden like this, or a spacious open area, it doesn't matter. In a small, tight, suburban type garden, not having all of that loader around can really help. We've had instances where we can hardly turn, might be hitting a privacy fence or landscaping, whatever, where we just couldn't make a turn. So in those instances, it's better to have some front weight on the tractor instead of the loader. But out here in the open, it doesn't matter. Dave's got a promotion today. He's working as assistant cameraman. I think that pays a lot better than chief mechanic. I wonder how many years we've shown tilling our garden for sweet corn. It's been a bunch of them. Now, I really appreciate you guys staying with us. I believe the first year, in fact, I think our very first video was tilling our garden for sweet corn and potatoes at the time back in Carmel. That would have been 2015. This is 2025. We missed 1 year. We did not grow sweet corn 1 year. And I regretted it ever since.
People often ask how we deal with the holes and humps left by the tiller. Well, this is how I do it. It's not perfect, but it's a lot easier than doing something by hand. And if you think it through and have the space, oftentimes you can leave a hole right where you're going to be leaving a hump on the next pass. That's what happens here. Check this out. I'm leaving a hole right here. And then when I start this final pass, I fill that in where I would typically leave a hump. We trimmed the garden down last year to try to get it a little more rectangular in shape. It wasn't very, I'm going to call it square, but rectangular before that, and we finally got it, I think, pretty good shape here. I'll be leaving a hole here, so I'll start my end or crossways pass on this side, filling that hole in. So here is the only unfilled hole in the entire garden.
Has to be level, so with the 3-point hitch attach, the way I do that's the top length.
Yeah, you can see it dropping.
Yeah, it's dropping. That's good.
Then I think we need to tilt the back end down because those rollers aren't quite engaging enough. I could be wrong on
Now
that.
they're engaging.
Now
And
they're-
now they're, if he goes,
Okay, now they're doing what they're supposed to do.
yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's beautiful.
I gave Dave the choice on which tractor to run. I said just put it on whichever tractor you wanted. Didn't really think he would choose this one. A bit overkill for the job, but it'll do it fine. I did measure to make sure that my next row will not be in the wheel track, but it won't be far off, so I'll end up having most of the in between of the rows packed with the tractor wheels, which is not necessarily optimal, but
I often get questions on this planter. Yeah, it's a real luxury. This is one row unit off a Deere 7000 Maxi-Merge planter. I got mine from J.O. Harris Sales over in Illinois. Be sure to tell them Tractor Time with Tim sent you. They offer them in 1, 2, 3, 4 rows at least for 3-point mount. And you can get pull types as well. Pretty much whatever you want. But the advantage of these Maxi-Merge planters over the older Deere 71 units is that they're plateless, so they'll plant any size sweet corn and do a relatively good job of it. Much better drop and seed placement than the older Deere 71 units. A subcompact tractor, at least a 1025R, has a little trouble picking it up. If you turn up the pressure just a little bit, then you don't have any issue after that. But any size bigger tractor would work fine. I chose the one row because I don't want to be planting behind the tire track of the tractor. And most of these little tractors are not wide enough to straddle 2 rows. I typically plant my rows about 36 inches apart, and the reason is it just makes it easier to walk between the rows. To optimize yield, 30-inch rows would probably work better.
Happy?
I'm happy.
So he keeps calling this a garden, and I kind of disagree. It's a cornfield, Tim. Own it. You want to be a farmer, this is your cornfield.
You know, the reason I like this kind of farming is because it doesn't cost so much that I'll go broke.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, so this brings me to another question. What's the economics of gardening?
Oh gosh.
Which is a callback, if you will.
You mean you saw that video?
Oh, I watched it this morning, in fact, and I thought I'm going to find a way to bring this in. We're planting the cornfield, so let's. And I believe in that video you made the statement that something about she asked what the cost of it was, and you said, well, it pays for itself by you getting to eat the food of it, right? Would you still agree with that, with the more substantial gardening costs?
Yeah, my dad said when it came to hunting charges,
Right.
how much it costs to hunt. And I think I said this in that video, that the crack of the gun pays for the shot.
Right. That's exactly what you said in
The crack of the gun pays for the shot. Anything you get is profit.
Okay.
So, the act of planting this was a break even.
I'm good with that.
Any sweet corn that we get is
It's profit.
Now, I thoroughly enjoy watching sweet corn grow. I'm not going to deny that at all. It's so pleasant. I enjoy watching potatoes grow too, but since my potato digger quit on me.
Right.
Sorry.
And,
just to harp on you a little bit, why aren't we doing the end rows the other way? Why you're cheating here, Tim?
I am cheating here. I don't have an answer.
Well, I have an answer. You've got the room to turn around.
Yeah, and I'm planting like they do in North Carolina.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, on Bobby's farm, they don't plant end rows. They just plant out into the ditch and into the road and turn around. And
Well, it's one way to do it.
they use 3-point hitch equipment, and
Okay.
they just
so
plant,
they're just
plant out there and turn around. They'll ride the brakes all the way around.
interesting.
So no end rows. So 4 rows down. Probably. Look at that.
Izzy's just fertilizing for you.
Oh. 4 rows down. Probably 4 more to go. We plant them a little bit later so we can have 2 rounds of sweet corn.
Yep.
This is a nice little break from our rush that we've been under for this building.
Well, we've still got more to do, so.
Yeah. We do. But that's fun
And-
too.
So it is. It's good times.
Stick around for our building project. Next up for Dave and I is leveling and grading the surface at least somewhat before they get in here. And well, we're going to be digging the holes and getting all that ready. So we're going to try to get the surface somewhat to grade. That's next up for us. I'm not sure if we're going to make that a video or not. You'll at least see the results of it. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on
Tractor Time with Tim.
So neither the one who plants nor the one who waters is anything, but only God who makes things grow.